What's up, Kantians? This is your host, lakota.tow, and welcome to the IKANTEVEN
Welcome to the IKANTEVEN podcast.
Welcome. For anyone who is new, again, I am lakota.tow. I'm the host of this wonderful podcast, and it's been about a month, and really, still kind of shit the bed. I was hoping that, I can kind of figure out the direction I want to go with this podcast, and I really still don't have one, except for comic books. Comic books seem to be the undeniable constant in my life right now, besides construction and April. And speaking of my wife, I want to thank her for this yummy cocktail. I can't remember what she said in there, what was in it, but it's like a lot of pineapple juice and a lot of liquor. So, and I was going to bring, I finally tried Proper 12, Conor McGregor's old whiskey, but he is still licensing his name, even though he sold the company and made a shitload of money. It's pretty good. I wasn't expecting it to be much, but it's pretty damn good. Of course, I'm recording on my new microphone. Thank you to the parents for hooking me up with an Amazon gift card, and I was able to update the mic. And BT dubs, I am soon to be updating the camera. So right now, I'm using a program called Zencastr. I've been using it for a long time. I love it. Shout out to the developers of Zencastr. You guys really kicked ass with this digital interface. But it uses my MacBook Pro's camera, which is a decent camera, but it's not like amazing, right? And it's old. I got this computer in like 2013. Right. So it's like 8, almost 9 years old. So it's time for an update. I am probably in the next month and a half going to be updating to a GoPro, right? Which isn't like, holy shit, like you're getting like a really nice camera, but it's way better than the camera I have. And by getting that, I'm also going to be doing more vlog updates on the YouTube. So for people who've been following IKANTEVEN for a while, I started a blog, a podcast, and a vlog, literally all at the same time, to kind of figure out what I actually like. And the blog turns out like, okay, yeah, I've been like wanting to do a blog for a while, but I'm really not that interested in like typing up a fucking essay every week for you guys. Like I'm not. Like I got completely burnt out in college, and after a while I hated doing it in college, so I didn't really want to do it for fun. The vlog, I love doing the vlog. The vlog is badass. It's a lot of fun going out on adventures and recording it and putting it out for you guys. But as I learned, what like guys like the Paul brothers, David Dobrik, basically anyone who like vlogs on a regular basis and makes a lot of money off of it. There's a lot of editing that goes involved that's involved in the process. And the editing aspect, I absolutely fell in love with. It is a lot of fun, really time consuming though. And I think I've explained that in the podcast before that, I'll record, let's say I record 24 hours of material. I'm not going to use all those 24-hour material. I'm going to dwindle it down into 5 minutes of a video. That's a lot. So I'm watching 24 hours of footage and I'm cutting and editing what I like and then deleting what I don't. So it takes time. So for a 24-hour footage, that would take me almost 3 days of sitting there doing it, right? Not 3 days straight, but just like 3 consecutive days of working on it in the spare time that I had. So I loved it, but I wanted to put it away for a little bit because I just didn't have the time. Well, with the GoPro is going to be a lot easier. It's a lot smaller than the camera I was using. So I'm going to be doing that. And then of course the podcast. The podcast is like my baby. I love doing this. I hate that like my life's not that fucking interesting, and I'm not like a big. I don't have a lot of journalism skills. Like I really don't. And so preparing content, preparing like, a really nice drawn out fucking story to tell you guys. I haven't practiced that. So that's something that like I was hoping in the past month, like something would inspire me, like, oh, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do this. And I don't have anything but comic books, which has nothing to do with the podcast name at all. But maybe I will kind of add it into there because this is something that like, I'll tell you guys every fucking Friday for the past going on like 2.5 months now, I stop by the comic book store, and it's I Like Comics in downtown Vancouver. Shout out to Chris, Mark, Colin. You guys are awesome. You guys run a really cool shop. And I go in there and I'm just amazed by the storylines you can find. So one of which I just picked up Friday, written by Hickman and drawn by Pitara. I guess Jonathan Hickman's like pretty well known. He did Kick-Ass, I think. So if you've ever seen the movie, you can thank the guy who wrote this as well. But Manhattan Projects is basically a fictional telling of like Oppenheimer and Feynman and Einstein and Enrico, like what the Manhattan Project actually was. Like, and there's a lot of like really fucked up stories in here. Like Oppenheimer isn't actually Oppenheimer. I don't want to do any spoilers, but I just finished it today, and today's Sunday. So I just picked it up Friday, finished it today, volume 1 out of 6. And I'm obsessed. This series was written from 2012 to 2015. So not a super long run, but like a decent run. It had 6 volumes. I think it's, like 30 issues, 36 issues of floppies. So that's pretty cool. Like it did all right. And of course it's published by Image. I am almost exclusively an Image guy. I didn't pick up my, didn't mean to hit the mic, but I didn't go and grab the Batman Beyonds that I got, the DC Batman Beyonds. That was a resurgence of Batman Beyond and Neo Gotham, which I started it. I bought the whole, like literally the whole series for like $30, and really hard to get through because I haven't read any DC comics. I haven't read any Neo Gotham era like setting for the DC universe. So I have no idea what the fuck's going on. So that one's going to take me a minute. Once I've kind of gotten through it, I will share what I think about it. But definitely, if you guys are into like science and like science fiction, pick this up. It's a fucking badass comic. And I'm really excited to read the rest of the series. So for my sci-fi nerds, you guys would love this. I'm huge into Robert Kirkman. I absolutely love basically everything he's touched. He's known for The Walking Dead, Invincible, Oblivion, and Firepower. So this is kind of like a relatively newer one that I think is still ongoing. And then Chris Samney, he was responsible for Daredevil, for drawing and coloring Daredevil. Or Oblivion Song, sorry, is Robert Kirkman. This is basically like, if you like martial arts and you kind of like an underdog story, pick this up. It's fucking badass. I have volume 2 and 3 as well. I'm getting through volume 2. I picked it up a couple weeks ago, but I've been obsessed with Invincible, so I've been reading more of that and trying to get through the Batman Beyond. and I picked up volume 3 this past Friday. But the artwork in this is absolutely stunning. It's humorous. There's a lot of badass action scenes, which were kind of hard to like, I don't know, like digest a little bit, like kind of navigate, kind of follow along. But it's absolutely stunning. So if you're already a fan of Robert Kirkman, who's an amazing writer and creator, pick this up. This is a really good story of kind of like a man who is just a badass martial artist, kind of an unbecoming one, like, or not unbecoming, like an unsuspecting one. Or like, holy fuck. And this old man, I can't remember his name right now, but he's fucking badass. Wears fucking, collects like vintage Jordans and lives in the mountains somewhere. So, and then a new series that just got approved, also Image Comics. All of these are Image Comics, all of them. They're based in Portland. That's not the reason why I'm into them. I think they have more of a diverse selection of stories, and they're not all superhero shit like Marvel and DC. So I'm really into their stuff. So if you watch Game of Thrones, how do you say her name? Daenerys? Yeah, Daenerys, the Queen of Dragons. Emilia Clarke plays her. Well, I just read the back like letter that she writes to the readers, and it was like, hey, like, bet you didn't like expect me to write a comic book. I didn't either. I wasn't into comic books until, because of Game of Thrones, for years she was traveling to comic conventions, doing panels, signing autographs, taking pictures with fans. And she said, you don't surround yourself with like in that environment without picking up a floppy or two and getting into those stories. And so that inspired her to write a comic book herself called Mother of Madness. And it is, if you know Emilia Clarke, she's like pretty heavy feminist. She's all about women power. She's all about equity. And it really shows in this storyline. This storyline was actually really hard for me to get through. And I was kind of expecting that for someone who like didn't grow up practicing writing comics and creating comics. She does have a co-writer. I think it's Marguerite Bennett. And basically the entire creative team in this are women. So that's kind of badass. But it was a little hard to get through, but the panel art in this is absolutely stunning. It just came out. They're in these like giant, like 44 page. You can see how thick that is for people who are watching this on YouTube, which this will be uploaded this coming week. You're hearing the audio probably Sunday night or Monday, and the YouTube video should be out like Monday or Tuesday. But holy fuck. Like that's a thick fucking floppy. I think it's like 44, 45 pages. Most floppies are probably like 15, maybe 20. And she was approved and created 3 floppies. So it's a limited release. Cool story arc about basically just a badass mother who has these like powers that are based off of her emotion. Like when she gets scared, she gets invisible. When she's happy, she's like a slinky and like she stretches out. When she's when she sings, she like breaks glass, like it's like, or laughs or something like that. Like all of her powers are basically based off of her emotions. And then she has the peakness, which is all of them together. They combine, and she's like this like badass supernatural being. So it's really interesting. It's interesting what Clark did as far as like empowering a woman. I mean, she definitely said that what inspired her to make it so feminist was that going to these conventions, what did you see? You saw a ridiculous ratio of men superheroes versus women superheroes. And she's like, I think it's about time that we not only make a woman superhero, but a woman superhero who is a mother. So that's what this is. It'll be interesting to see what else she comes out with. These are first editions, so you best believe I'm gonna be like trying to keep these intact, and I'm gonna collect all three of them and make sure that they stay in good condition, because this might be my first comic book that in 20 or 30 years could be a priceless collectible. So I'm excited. Thank you, Amelia Clark, for getting into comics when I got into comics. And then last but certainly not least, another Kirkman great, Invincible. So I am halfway through this series and I'm absolutely in love. I'm in love with this story arc. I wish it never ended. Invincible really is, like, in my opinion, the best superhero story ever told. Like, pound for pound. Obviously, I haven't read a lot of comic books, but I've seen all of the comic book related superhero movies. I've seen them all. I've seen all the Marvel movies, all the DC movies. I've seen them all. This by far is the best superhero story arc, period. And I'm sure people would disagree with me. Probably none of my listeners, because I might be the only one that's like really into these comic books. And of course, this podcast never started out as a comic book review. And I don't think that's necessarily the direction I'm going to take it in, or maybe I will. I don't know. You guys let me know. To my loyal listeners, I know I've lost a lot of listeners since Cabe left. I miss you guys. But I'm very grateful for the ones that do stick around and listen on a weekly basis or whenever I publish one. There's at least like 20 of y'all that just jump on it, like boom, right? Like I'm not hitting like crazy numbers. So I do appreciate that. Thank you. Again, I turned off all ads. I have a Patreon, but I might like change the direction of that and reorient that. But back to what I was saying. Wow, this juice is really getting to me now. Holy shit. I've only taken a few sips out of it. My wife basically put all the liquor that we have in the liquor cabinet. Gin, vodka, whiskey, probably more bourbon. Just a bunch of shit. Tastes really good. Back to Invincible. So I'm halfway through this series. There's 12 volumes. And the story arc, just every volume just gets better and better. And I would have picked up 7, but I Like Comics didn't have it. So I have to wait another week. And that's good, because I'm still not, like, I still have like a little bit more to read. If you can see, I have my bookmark there. And then I have plenty to read. I have Firepower to get through. I have Batman Beyond, Chew. I'm still reading Chew. But I was like, fuck. Like every week I look forward to buying another Invincible and getting through that. But I don't have it. It's a sad day. Sad day. So I'm now gonna, this isn't a comic book, but I do want to shout out an Alaskan novelist. I don't know if he's done anything besides these series of zombie books, but Sean Schubert. I met your wife like many years ago. I'm sure you're never going to hear this podcast episode. I'll try and find you on social media and tag you so you at least like hear this shout out. But Infection, Alaskan Undead Apocalypse. Dude, like, you're a badass writer. I'm about a third of the way through this book. And so basically anytime I run out of comic books, I start reading this. And anytime I'm reading this at night, I'll get like 20 pages in and I literally have to turn it off and put on like a sitcom so I can go to bed, because the storytelling in this is just, it's incredible, and it's based in Alaska, and a lot of it's in Anchorage, Alaska. So where I grew up. So I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed. And what's cool is that I'm I have a relationship with the setting of the book because I know everywhere he's talking about. So if you are in Alaska, I'm pretty sure I either got this from Sean's wife or I bought it at Tidal Wave. I can't remember, or Barnes and Noble, but I'm sure they still sell it. Go support this man, Sean Schubert. It's flipped because of course the camera, but Sean Schubert, Infection, Alaskan Undead Apocalypse. I'll also I'll make a note to link his website, because I think he does have a website, or at least there's a press website for it, permutedpress.com. So you guys can check it out. This book was written a while ago, and he has a whole series of it. I think there's a trilogy. Let's see. When was this copyrighted? 2011, 2012. So when I graduated high school, this book first came out. And I probably picked it up around there too. I've had it for a long time, and I finally picked it up. And I really wish I would have picked it up a long time ago so that I could talk to Sean. And hopefully, Sean, if you do listen to this, if I do find you on social media, which I don't think I have yet, I would love to have you on the podcast to talk about this book, because there's so many zombie apocalypse stories out there, right? And back then, right, The Walking Dead was out. There's a bunch of like World War Z. There was a shitload of zombie genre related media coming out. And I think this book stands out. I really do. I think this book stands out from other stories that were told, because mainly, who the fuck would think that a zombie breakout would happen in Alaska? And let alone for my Alaskan friends in Providence Hospital, right? Like, it starts in Seward. I don't want to spoil too much because you guys really should pick this fucking book up, but starts in Seward, and basically the actual breakout runs rampant from Providence Hospital outwards. So UAA, all my Seawolf colleagues fucked up. They're all dead. Everything, it just gets worse and worse and worse from there. And then the main story, the main characters in the story, they're kind of following these multiple groups and how they're surviving. And it's just it's the heart starts pumping. So it's insane. So Sean, thank you so much for writing a good book. When I do finish this, I will be sure to reach out to you and try and get you on this podcast, because I think you would be a really fascinating man to talk to. Your wife's amazing. I met her at a party, which sounds weird because they're adults, and I was a college student. I met you at Linnell's Halloween party. So for people who know me, I used to work at a Halloween. Anyways, that's not that important. Anyways, yeah, check out that book, Infection. I will link it down in the description. I will also link down Image Comics website. So for anyone who's listening to this podcast and isn't into comic books, or maybe you read books and you want to explore or broaden your horizon, check out these graphic novels, check out these trade paperbacks. I'm a big reader, and I'm honestly I'm in love with these comics. I will probably be a fan of comics and a reader of comics for decades to come. I'm going to have to start building shelves now for them, because I already have several hundred books, and in no time, within the next 30 weeks, I will probably have several hundred comic books as well, and read them all. So I definitely recommend that. I want to close this. I don't have any 2 random facts for you guys. I'm sorry. I guess I could probably pull some up for you guys if you're really wanting some. Let's see. That way I could play the jingle. The jingle's always fun. Oh, the Olympics are going on. So be sure to root for the United States or Argentina or whoever the hell you want to root for. Let's see. Sections, live smarter, connections. By the way, I always get these from Mental Floss. So not always, but like lately I have been, just because I'm lazy. And I just go to their amazing fact generator. Okay. So before I get into that, I want to talk about, real quick, Shark Week. So Shark Week is always around my birthday every year, and it's my favorite holiday week. I have a fucking message for Discovery. Okay? Discovery, listen up here. Okay? Stop with the fucking gimmicks. I'm so fucking tired of the gimmicks that you're doing. Like, we all love Tiffany Haddish. We love David Dobrik. We love these people, right? Steve Irwin's kid, whatever the fuck his name is, right? We love them. Dr. Pimple Popper. My wife loves her. I don't ever watch her shit. Stop, right? We love Jackass. We do. Stop with the gimmicks. It is so infuriating as like a Shark Week traditionalist is what I would label myself. I love Shark Week. I love sharks. If I didn't study philosophy and sociology for pre-law to be a lawyer and I hadn't become a carpenter, I would have been a fucking marine biologist studying sharks. I think it's so interesting. And Shark Week was to explore the previously unknown facts and lives of different species of sharks, right? What sharks have we found this year? What have we learned more about them? So every year, going back to 2000, 2001, Shark Week was Discovery's like attempt to educate people on the facts on sharks. No fucking gimmicks. The gimmicks are getting really bad, guys. They're really corny. I don't like them. I'm sure your viewers love them. But as a traditionalist, as a fan for a long time, I'm pleading. I am begging. Please fucking stop with the gimmicks and let's get to the science. Let's get to the science, right? Watching great white sharks breaching out of the water and hunting, that's fucking awesome. Keep that up, right? Because we want to make sure that they're still hunting there. And we had just learned that like, fuck, off of South Africa, they really haven't been doing that much, right? And we learned why. That was a great segment. That was a great series to watch. But stop, right? Dr. Pimple Popper is a pimple popper. Let her do that. David Dobrik, I love him to death. I'm a huge fan. He's a vlogger. Let him vlog, right? Stop bringing these celebrities on to try and like raise your fucking like profile in the celebrity game, because it's really annoying. And if you're going to keep that up, which I know you are because I'm a nobody, right? I'm just one view out of a million viewers that you had. But if you're going to keep that up, match the amount of gimmicky shit that you're going to pour onto your viewers with interesting scientific shit. Please. Discovery, you're killing me. You're killing me. I may have to switch over and start watching Nat Geo's Shark Fest, which I already do, but I may exclusively do that. So let's get back to the facts, okay? And anybody who's with me, write Discovery an email or a letter or shout them out in your podcast and tell them they're fucking up, because I'm going to tag them in this shit because I'm sick of it. I'm a huge Shark Week fan. I love sharks, and I'm so sick of the gimmicks. I haven't even seen all the gimmicky shit. I don't watch them. I skip over them because it's horse shit. So that's it. Let's get to 2 random facts. Yeah, let's play that again. Sorry, I had it turned down for some reason. Let's get into it.
2 random facts.
Fact number 1. In the early 20th century, the area now known as Glass Beach in California was used as a trash dump. Decades of ocean tides have cleared the beach and polished the discarded bottles and automobile taillights into colorful pebbles of sea glass. Huh. Is your way of saying, here, you fucks. Here's your trash back. That's disgusting. Oh, I'm sure it's all like softened. In the picture, it looks softened. But that's gross. We got to figure out something that we're going to do with our trash, because that's in the 20th century. Imagine what we're doing in the 21st century right now. Just fucking the earth up. This is going to be interesting to say because I am not French. Fact number 2. The Palais Ideal in France is built entirely of stones a postman named Fernandad Cheval picked up on his mail route. Huh. Really? I don't know if that's that interesting. It's kind of cool. If you guys want to look it up, it's PALAIS space IDEAL. Palais Ideal. I think that's like just French for ideal palace or some shit. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Kind of lame facts. Generally, I'll sit there and kind of like sift through and copy and paste like the 2 coolest ones. But I just wanted to throw that in there for you guys, just to like keep it consistent. Even if it's just consistently trash. So, yeah. Oh, and I keep hitting the mic. Sorry, I'm not used to it being this high up. I just want to say, I fucking called it. The Bucks won the NBA Finals. I haven't done an update in a while, but I kind of called it. I was rooting for the Bucks. I kind of thought the Suns had it in the bag, especially since they won the first 2 games in a fucking row. And then the Bucks, Giannis and like Middleton, all of them were like, fuck this. They go on a 4-game winning streak and win the series, which is badass. So congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks. Stoked for them. It just kind of goes to show that you don't have to be on a super team to win a finals, right? You just need a very good core group of talent and veterans, like a mixture of veterans and new guys, to make it happen. And so I think it was long overdue, and I'm glad that team was able to make it all the way and be underdogs. I mean, basically the entire time. The entire time during the NBA series, the final series, they were the underdogs from round 1 all the way to the championship games. So congratulations. I know they'll never hear this, but I just want all of you fucks to know. I called it. I was rooting for them. I didn't know how they were going to pull it out, but they did. So anyways, guys, make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel. You're following my Instagram, both my personal and the podcast. Make sure you're subscribed and following on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts. This podcast will be published there. And be sure to like rate and comment on Apple. If you're listening on an Apple device, which I know most of you fuckers are, give me a comment. I'll post it on the website on IKANTEVEN.com, and you'll be highlighted there. Check it out. And if you do want to support this podcast, help me get that new GoPro. I'm gonna get it anyways, but help me get it. You can subscribe to the Patreon. I'm gonna start putting some shit out on there. It'll probably be more like early releases, so you'll be able to hear the podcast sooner, and then some background shit. I'll probably will do the drunken rants. I don't know. That one's just a little dangerous because who the fuck knows what I'm going to say. You could buy the merch. The merch is badass. It really is top tier shit. If you want merch, I shouldn't say this. I'm going to say it. If you want merch and it's just kind of out of your budget, right? Like you want to support the podcast, but you don't have the budget to like buy this premium merch. I get it. Shoot me an email at ikantevenmedia@gmail.com. We'll work something out. Okay. Um, this podcast was never a moneymaker. Yes, it'd be great if I was making thousands of dollars off of this a month. That'd be amazing. I don't ever really see that happening, just because I don't put that kind of effort into it, not yet. But if you're wanting that, I'm willing to hook it up and help you out. And then, of course, you can still donate on a monthly basis on Anchor. Although I wouldn't even do Anchor because I don't even know how to get my money off of there. I've made $35 off of their fucking ads and they've still never paid me. So maybe don't do that. Hey, you can if you want. Maybe they'll pay me eventually. Who knows? But that's it. That's all I have for you guys. Hopefully, I will have a new one out next weekend. And we'll talk more comic books. We'll talk more new shit and have some more fun. And hopefully, I can have a guest on. So if you want to be on this podcast, let me know. We'll shoot the shit. I'll bring back Shoot the Shit, and we'll talk about what's going on in recent news. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you when I fucking feel like it. Peace.